So how does a boy find his story if he never knows his father's?
I feel like it comes down to a point where you got to create it.
Yeah.
And you create something that you know you can stand on and you know you can be true to, or you create a facade.
Okay.
Like it's a saying that always stuck to me too. Like, if you come from a poor family, then make sure, you know, a rich family come from you.
Yo, what's up, everybody? You listening to the What I Know Now podcast about life inside the juvenile justice system and what it's like to turn things around after. I'm Bilal, and I've been through it.
And my name is Cole Williams. I am an advocate, a father, and I entered into the Juvenile Detention Center because my son was there. We're gonna sit down with young men and young women who've been through the juvenile justice system, just like Bilal. And we'll talk about how they got in, how they got out, and what they know now.
We're here to break down those walls, have some raw conversations, and hopefully change some lives along the way. Let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the What I Know Now podcast. I'm here with Nick Williams. You're an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? You're an intern with the Delta Project. You got your own brand. You're an entrepreneur, young man. How old are you?
21. I just turned 21 Wednesday.
21. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Appreciate it. Earth strong.
Yeah.
I make music.
Okay.
Artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Upcoming brand, One Love.
Okay.
Came up with it when I was incarcerated for a year.
What does One Love mean?
One Love is universal love, respect for all color, creed, and races.
So what made you come up with that? Give us a little backstory.
My uncle used to always, he told me the meaning behind One Love. He used to always say One Love. And just when I was younger, it just stuck with me for real.
So when he would see people or interact with somebody, he'd be like, One Love.
One Love.
Okay.
And he the only person I noticed that always said One Love.
Okay.
So,
okay.
The idea of your uncle telling you One Love, was this like something he did when he greeted somebody, when he left somebody? Like, how was this? Like
just
when
like left somebody there.
Okay.
Would you kind of say that shaped your idea or ideology of love since you was young? Like when you leave someone, you should tell them if you care about them, you should love them. You should tell them you love them and stuff like. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Because I ain't hear that much. I ain't hear much like I love you after somebody leaves. So One Love kind of
kind of was like a substitute.
I love you. Yeah.
Okay. Relationship wise, you navigated the system and stuff like that. You've been through a lot of things that everybody your age haven't been through. Do you find it hard to express your love and care for somebody? Like, do you find it hard to build that connection, that love connection, or care?
No, I don't find it hard. I just be careful for real, like who I love and who I really give my love to.
Take us back to your first time in the juvenile justice world. What was your experience? Just give us a little backtrack of your story.
And it's a long story.
Okay.
Cause I was going like back to back. So like,
what age were you?
When I first went in, I believe I was 15. Okay. I think like 15. Okay. Yeah.
So you were 15 years old. Were you charged with anything? Did the police pick you up?
Yeah, about that. I was going to Union.
Okay.
And
Union is a high school here in
it's a high school, Union High School.
Okay.
I was going to Union High School. One morning, I used to ride the city bus.
Okay.
So I was riding the city bus one morning, and I was kind of like a bully type of kid sometimes.
Okay.
So the kid, he just bumped into me basically.
Okay.
And we had an altercation.
Okay.
And I ended up punching him.
Okay.
Then the mom of the kid I punched basically pressed charges on me. So what basically led me to probation, and it was an assault charge. And then from there, then I got in the system. Then I just kept getting in trouble after that.
Okay. What were some of the things you would say you kept getting in trouble about?
I had a lot of anger built up inside of me.
Did you feel like once you got in, your charges get worse as the more you got locked up, basically?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you can give a number of how many times you've been in and out of the detention center, what would be the number for you? You can say so many that you can't.
Yeah. Like it's so many times, I don't even think I can count.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I estimate though, I say about 10 times.
10 times.
Yeah, I was going like every other month.
Every other month.
Yeah.
Okay. So from 15 to what age?
17.
Okay.
17.
15 to 17 every other month.
Yeah.
What about the jail, the transition to the jail? Because the jail way different than the juvenile.
Yeah.
What would you say like was your experience what was going through your head when you first entered the county?
The jail changed my whole mindset. I'm like, man, this different. Like, this way different. I say what really made me look at it like it just was, I don't know, like the lockdown, like no freedom. Feel like you ain't really had no freedom.
How many hours was you in your cell for on the daily?
On the daily, we came our cell 4 hours a day. So what, 20 hours? In the cell
20 hours.
20 hours.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
What your thoughts? Can you kind of like help us vision what that cell looked like, or even when you first entered the jail, like what was the process like intake and like you know all of that? Was you cuffed when you came in?
Well, when I first came in, I was cuffed, and they put me in a room, and I sat in that room, and they basically just getting information out of me. It seemed like a holding cell, like you first come in, holding cell. Mm-hmm. They searched me, and I had to go through a metal detector, and then it was like a room, a space, and it was cells everywhere too, like more holding cells, you know, like homeless people in there sleep, people banging on the cells, all type of stuff. It was too much going on, but I wasn't really focused. I wasn't really observing when I first went in there.
Okay.
My mind was still kind of like, you know, like, dang, I just got locked up.
Okay.
Again.
So you're still in that mode.
What about when you first got into the county cell, like your cell, you know, they gave you the cover by this time, you didn't change clothes, they gave you the cover, you know what I mean? They gave you the little toothpaste that they give you.
Oh yeah, that's when them thoughts kick in. Yeah. Like the reality, like that's when reality really kicked in. Like I'm back in this situation with this, I just need to change. Like, but I ain't really want to change the first time. I was saying that because I'm in a cell now, and you know. But yeah.
What would you say motivated you to change?
Family.
What was you trying to change?
Myself.
You said you were angry. Have you ever figured out what you were angry about?
I was angry at a lot.
Okay.
Really, like my dad not being in my life, just stuff that I couldn't control.
That's powerful, Nick, because there are so many kids that we mentoring that are angry. Yeah. They just straight up angry. And everything we do to angry children oftentimes can feel like it's punitive, right? So, and angry children act out. But the core of it was that you were angry. And so how do you think the people around you treated the angry you?
They congratulated me. It
How
felt
so?
like people like praised me. Like I had more, it was a lot more friends. Like people just, I don't know, like people liked me more for some reason. Like people gravitated towards me more. Like people like, I don't know.
No, it's good.
That's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah. So was it your peer group?
Peer group.
Okay, so your peers like the angry you.
Friends from school, you know.
Okay. So the angry you was who? Did it have a name? Did you have a name to it?
Nah. I never went by.
So your anger created an identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And people celebrated that.
Yeah, it really started all in elementary school.
Elementary school.
I always been a trouble child, basically in my mom's eyes. CSA.
Elementary school. Because we're seeing a lot of. I mean, we're starting to work with kids that are as young as 10.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah. We're working. I mean, you were at Cray Cruises with us with 10-year-olds.
Yeah, around that age, I was.
That was when you started.
Knives to school. I brought a knife to school and got expelled. Second grade. Yeah, I brought a knife to school, got expelled from Kent Hills. Actually, Kent Hills Elementary. If they knew why I did that, then they probably, could have did something better.
Okay.
And made a change.
Okay.
Cause I bought it the night to school because the kid was bullying me the whole time. And yeah.
We both went to Kent Hill. Because around that time, Kent Hills, I brought weed to school. I got expelled.
How old were you?
Wow. Like second grade.
Second grade.
Crazy.
You bringing knives, you bringing weed. Second grade.
Now, mind you, I ain't understand what weed was at this time.
No, right.
Like, I knew I wasn't supposed to have it, but I ain't really knew what to do with it. Like, I ain't know, like, what it was or, like, you know, like, what I was supposed to. I ain't even know you was supposed to smoke it. Like,
You just had it.
I just had it. It smelled cool, you know what I mean? Like, my daddy had it, you know, and I took it from him.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah. And I just brought it to school. I'm showing everybody at school. They done told on me. Like, it was...
So second grade is starting to happen.
Yeah, second grade.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
How was school growing up for you? Because, like, I know how, school was for me. Like, me personally, like, I feel like a lot of teachers failed me. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't feel like it was just because of their own incompetence, but, like, maybe just, like, they couldn't get through, or maybe, like, I don't know, their own life situations or whatever they had going on, they couldn't just get through to me. That's why I feel like I was never really connected with my educational journey throughout school. Like, how was school for you?
I can agree, like, on what you really just said. I never connected with my teachers. They never sat and talked to me like, nigga, what's going on?
Yeah.
It seemed like they just wanted to get rid of me, just tell the principal, or give me, like, write me up and just leave it at that. And I never had a teacher really sit down and talk to me like, nigga, what's really going on? You know?
Yeah. Do you feel like that could have helped you get through school, or even have more of a, like, love for school?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
I agree.
But you were angry though.
Yeah, real angry.
You was angry
I
though.
was real angry.
So you acted out in the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when kids act out in classrooms, adults respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't typically respond in, like, what? How would you have wanted an adult to respond to you as you were acting out?
Came at me as, like, more of a parent more than just a teacher. You know? But they probably didn't know how to, but, you know, that's just for example.
No, there's going to be a teacher that's going to watch this.
Yeah.
So knowing that this teacher is going to have a second grader in her classroom, third grader, fourth grader, fifth grader, sixth grader, seventh grader, which they have in their classrooms across the country, with kids that are angry, you need to speak to that. What do teachers need to be able to say, and both of you can speak to this, to the angry black boy that sits in their classroom? Who?
I feel for me, like, what I needed, like, patience.
Okay.
For sure, patience. Like, anytime I got in trouble with school, if I skipped anything that I got, like, it was just immediate, got rid of me. You know what I mean? Like, nobody really got behind the root of the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody sat me down and was like, what's going on? Is you good? We'll do. The most somebody ever sat me down was like, what's going on at home? And this was when CPS is involved at this point.
Okay.
And, like, you know, CPS come in, everybody in the community, especially the black community, got, like, the prejudice about CPS.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, CPS coming in, they want to take you, like, just don't talk to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like, that was the only time a teacher really sat down with me and was like, what's going on, you know? But, like, outside of that, I feel like they had the patience and really got to know some of the, like, get to know me and see what I was going through, you know, at home, or even just in the community, things I'm experiencing when I'm walking to the bus stop, or things I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying, on the weekend when I'm not at school.
Okay.
You feel me? Or even asking me, is school a priority for you? Because even at a young age, like, ever since I got expelled from school in second grade, from that, like, school was never a priority after that no more. Like, it was just like, okay, I was out of school for, like, almost the whole year. I ain't do no schoolwork, and I seen that, like, it ain't really, like, I didn't see any, like, instant, I didn't really see any instant or, like, long-term effects from it. Only thing I seen was that I was out of school. I'm able to play the game now. You know what I mean? I'm able to go hang out with my friends and stuff like that. I didn't see, and then by the time I get back in school, I'm just back doing the same work. I'm not behind, nothing like that. Granted, before that time, like, it wasn't credits, you know what I'm saying? It's elementary school, middle school, ain't nothing really accredited. And then when I figured out from my big brother that school don't matter till you get to high school,
then it was done.
Then it was just over. Like, and at that point, it's like, okay, like, I'm really finna just do my thing. Like, you know. Yeah.
Can y'all talk about consistency? Because is it safe to say that was there at least one person in y'all journey?
In the educational system, in
community, coach, football, was there at least one person in your journey where you can be like, this person saw me and they tried?
So hold on, because we need to what's the niche?
What you mean? What's the niche?
It's so many different aspects because I didn't walk down the street and a fiend came up to me like, "Yo, young bull," you know what I mean?
So it's like let's go with that, right? Let's take off the title of teacher, principal, coach. Let's take the title off and just go from a human perspective. Like, have you ever come across the human being in your path who said to you, "I see you in the way that you are describing you needed to be seen"?
Well, okay, that's different. Like, I feel like the way that you need to be seen, I don't feel like nobody really eventually somebody have, but that's later on down the road when I came in contact with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But when I'm talking about growing up when I was real young, it's definitely been people that came up to me and try to steer me in the right direction. But when you're talking about
let's go with that.
Yeah,
because there are people that are going to watch this and say, well, I've got a student in my classroom. I got a guy on my football team. I've tried to talk to him. I've tried to reach out to him. I tried to pour into him, but he just completely goes and does what he wants to do. Right. So no matter how hard I try, I can't get him to do it. So have you had people in your life who've tried and they just can't get through?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I feel like that always happens.
Okay.
Always. 100%.
What do you say to those people? Because those are the people that I think want to see the change, but do they give up? Because part of me feels like over time they just stop because I can't help.
I say, and I know you got your feelings about this, and I say, for me, I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it.
Okay.
Some people gravitate towards other people, and some people just can't. Some people they just not compatible. Sometimes you're just not compatible. Mm-hmm. So even with me, coming from a place I done been through everything a lot of these young boys that's in it, we mentoring and stuff been through. Sometimes I may not, I haven't encountered that yet, yet, but I'm pretty sure later on down the line, it will be sometime where I come across a young boy that's been in the streets, he got locked up, he the whole 9 yards, right? And I might not be able to get to him. It just may not reflect. It may not be, it just may not work. You know what I'm saying? And I say, it ain't the end of the world if that happened. You could always be there along the journey. And I feel even if you stay consistent, just wanting to see them do better, you know what I'm saying? Not just giving up on them, but wanting to see them do better. Even just taking a step back and watching from the bleachers, watching their progress and just checking back in with them. I seen you, ooh. Okay. I feel even that over time you may see the impact and the effect of what you've been doing.
Okay. Nick, what you think?
Yeah, I'll go back to the who.
Yeah.
And I say one person.
Okay.
And it was a security guard at Riverside Middle School. His name Mr. Robinson.
Shout out Mr. Robinson.
Yeah, shout out Mr. Robinson for sure. Cause he showed me he actually cared about me. Out of all the teachers, principals, and all that.
What did
I
he
actually
do?
had a real connection with him. He basically we actually talked, he wanted to hear my story, my background, what's going on. How they call the security guard and they tell him to come get you basically. And he basically, he really chopped it up with me. I got to tell him what's going on. He understood. He even took me home a few times because I didn't have a way home. He just showed me he just showed me he cared about me. That's all.
Okay.
He
supported
for sure. Yeah.
So part of support is having somebody in your life that care about you.
Yeah.
That will listen to you.
Yeah, for sure.
That will not judge you.
And when somebody actually care about you or they just, doing their job or,
Okay.
Even kids, even since I was real young, like we talk about hypervigilancy. You know what I'm saying? I've been hypervigilant. I feel like even before I entered the juvenile justice space, you know what I'm saying?
What's hypervigilant?
Hypervigilant is, you could probably explain this better, but I'm going to try the best I can. It's when you pick up on things more than usual, more than sometimes other people may. Once you get clues and signals, right? Or even, let's give an example, like if every time I come in the house and I know my mom's mad, she huff and puff when she mad. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I hear huff and puff, I'm going to, like, the alarms in my head going to go off and think that something wrong or that I'm doing something wrong. It's kind of like just picking up on cues that trigger you or may cause certain feelings inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like what it is, or you can sense danger. You know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't in danger, but you just sense it. It's just a
trauma response.
Trauma response. Amped up feelings, like amped up feelings and senses inside of you. To certain things, right?
It's a trauma response to protect yourself. So you look.
Oh, okay.
You're
like
looking for it to protect yourself. If there's danger, I gotta get it. I gotta get in front of it first. Yeah. So the back of your brain is operating.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel like I have that.
Yeah, sure. And I feel like even since I was young, I always had that. And when we talk about like knowing, when somebody care about you, when somebody, everybody, I don't feel like everybody knows that. Like everybody don't know what's right in their face. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not clear. Sometimes you can't look in somebody's eyes and be like, man, I really just don't know if they care about me. I really don't know if they want the best for me. Yeah. But when you can. And I feel like a lot of young kids can realize when somebody don't care about them. And I feel like that also plays into the part when you talked about what about if somebody is trying to get through to somebody. Yeah. Maybe they hypervigilancy don't even allow them to, like, okay, I don't believe you. Maybe they trust that you don't trust. Yeah. Right.
I mean, the security guard, Mr. Robertson, he created an opportunity for you and him to have a connection, right? All these other people, they couldn't connect with you, but for some particular reason, he could, and he was able to make that lasting impression on you, right?
Like go ahead.
You're good.
They used to even tell him, like the principals used to tell him, like, go get Nick, like, because they couldn't do nothing with me, so they'd tell him to come get me, basically.
And then when he would come, what would happen to you?
He'd like, calm me down, like.
Okay. But you would also you would calm down.
Yeah, I would calm down.
You would calm down.
And this just made me think like more of like, man, we constantly in these rooms in these different like areas, and we talking about prevention of even entering the space, the juvenile justice space and all of that. And it just it makes me think like a lot of our community, man, I'm gonna just say it. A lot of in the black community, it's hard for black boys to get attention, and black boys need attention, black boys and girls. Like when we talk about being in school, sports, anything, outside of sports, outside of getting in trouble, getting suspended, outside of being incarcerated and juvenile, them boys who not doing that don't get much attention. And I feel like even outside of adults who see that, who indulge in the attention giving of people involved in those extracurricular activities, whatever the case may be, our community as a whole, our peers, like just our community, you know what I'm saying? Like our whole class, like if you wasn't selling drugs, if you wasn't carrying a gun, if you wasn't in the streets, you know what I'm saying? If you wasn't with 30 different women, you ain't really gonna get the attention like everybody else getting attention. And at some point, like some people may not think this to be true, but at some point, everybody in life needs attention. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs attention. Everybody wants attention. It's natural. It's in us. You know what I'm saying? We naturally want attention. We naturally get jealous of certain things. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when we talk about this connection with certain people, I feel like ultimately it comes down to that attention. And even with the like excitement of the streets, it's that attention.
To add on to that, attention really means the feeling of belonging. Like, I want to belong to something. Yeah. And if it's this group of brothers who see me, who celebrate me because I got anger, and when I'm angry, I act out, people get it. I can fight. I can do all these things. I get a sense of brotherhood. People now talking to me. People now recognizing me. Yeah. People showing me false sense of love. But I belong.
Exactly.
When you think about from second grade to when you started the route of people starting to notice you through your anger, at any point in that journey, did you feel like you belonged?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who did you belong to? What were the people that you belonged to? If you can think about it, who were those folks?
Matter of fact, nah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you think about that. Yeah. That you answer quick.
Yeah. So no. No.
And when we talk
I ain't
about
belong to nobody.
And when we talk about sense of belonging, you got to also add masculinity onto it.
Oh yeah.
You got to add masculinity. It got to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
masculinity. Because when you think about even getting in trouble and whatever you're going through inside, whatever system, even if you ain't even in the system, right? Masculinity, can I fight as a man? Mm-hmm. Can I hold my own? Can I hold it down? Can I provide for my family? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah. So did you grow up with your mom?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grow with your mom.
Oldest sibling
Okay.
in the household.
Okay. And we're going to take I always do a deep dive question.
Yeah.
And I always hit with the family. Only reason why I talk about family a lot is because when we talk about the JJ system, juvenile justice system, quite oftentimes and not most people say it is the family that's often the issue. If you fix the family, the child will be better.
Yeah, sure.
And oftentimes in this work, we hear about moms all the time. When I go to courtrooms, I see moms. When I go to the jail to work in the jail in the parking lot, I see women and children. When there is a crime in the community, I see women and children, right? I hear about dads, but I'll hear about them in spurts, and maybe not often in a positive way. If we take this deep dive question, who did you need? Did you need dad?
I wouldn't say I needed him specifically.
Okay.
But I needed a father figure. I needed a man around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could tell my mom, she didn't know what to really like do with me.
Okay. But you needed a father figure.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to realize that? Because that's big, realizing that you needed a father figure in your life.
Young, like around middle school time. Yeah, that's when it really hit, like 6th grade.
When did you notice he wasn't around?
I noticed that as a baby, it felt like.
As a baby?
He was around, I feel like I got a little blur. He was around when I was a baby, like around like 5, 6. Then when him and my mom broke up, I just didn't see him after that.
I often ask this question. Do you know your father's story? Do you know how he be transitioned from a boy to a man? His story, from his words.
Not really.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't really know the story.
And that's big, because even with me, like, I grew up mostly with my father, you know, until, like, I lost the connection with him, and then, like, you know, but even me, like, that being a primary parent, I still don't know my dad's story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's crazy how, like, your father, somebody can be there physically, but mentally, they not there.
They're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does a boy find his story if he never knows his father's?
Right.
I feel like it comes down to a point where you got to create it.
Yeah.
And you create something that you know you can stand on and you know you can be true to, or you create a facade.
Okay.
Like, it's a saying that always stuck to me too, like, if you come from a poor family, then make sure, you know, a rich family come from you.
Mm.
Yeah.
And is that rich in money, or is that rich in love? How do you
I feel like it can
define
be
that?
all aspects, like love, really everything.
Okay.
Financial, mentally, emotionally,
Okay.
everything.
And what I take from that is breaking chains.
Yeah.
We breaking the chains in the cycle, the system cycle, the educational cycle, everything. Like we breaking it.
Yeah.
You get to a point where you talk about health psychology and generational trauma that we don't even know about. So even knowing about your father's story and me knowing about my father's story,
Me learning and knowing my father's story.
exactly, it resonates because things that he experienced affect me. That's literally science. You know what I'm saying? And I won't understand it till I fully understand the whole blueprint, the whole Venn diagram, whatever, you know. Even before that, my granddaddy and his daddy and his dad and his dad, like on and on and on, it transfers. It's called health psychology.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this to you brothers who are not yet fathers. I was a lot younger than y'all when I became a father. But when I saw my son being born and I held him, I think at 16, I was like, although I didn't know who I was, when I saw him, I knew that I wanted to do something different with my life, right? And I knew that him being present was me recognizing that I had a purpose. And I think prior to being a young father, I didn't see that I had a purpose. No one had ever said to me my gifts. They never saw me and said, oh, I see that in you. And man, you got to run with that because that's your gift. No one called the gift out in me. And so I had to work really hard to find it. So how have you found your purpose? Do you know, because I feel like you have a sense of where you want to be. But when we think about your brand and we think about what you talk about, what you represent when you enter into spaces, do you feel like, okay, I found something that's changed me from being this angry person to this guy that's sitting in front of us right now? What was that for you?
Like what I think my purpose is really like God, like whatever His purpose is for me, basically.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And His purpose at this point in your life is what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah. We go by some in Islam, in the Quran, it's already written.
It's already written.
It's already written. It's all part of the plan. Like,
okay.
Okay.
And another thing is a big quote that y'all just reminded me of is a man with no purpose distract himself from pleasures.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah.
So is it safe to say that it takes men to be in these spaces to help boys transition?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like we finna drop them with a bomb overload. I mean a quote overload. What's that quote? The village one.
Children, the African proverb that says children that are not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
That one right there.
Yeah.
That's literally that's it.
What is that?
That means that people will act out to feel something.
And it takes more than one person to build. It takes a community to help raise a child, a boy, a woman, everything. It takes it's a all-in effort.
So we all have a responsibility.
Yeah.
We all have a responsibility to the second grader who came to school with a knife, a second grader who showed up at school with a bag of weed. Yeah. We all have a responsibility, and it's never okay to just throw them away because they acting out. We should be asking the questions that you just described. What happened to you? And I'm going to be consistently involved as a part of the community to support you through that. Man, you an intern at the Delta Project, providing support to young people. What's that been like for you?
It's been good. Like I've been feeling good about it. I'm still trying to just learn the ropes and I'm still observing and learning while going at the same time.
Okay. What's been one thing that you've experienced that stands out for you with working with young people? Can you think of a moment or something?
Really just hearing different stories.
From who?
All the kids like at the Southeast. Like just hearing everybody like the way people think, like how everybody think different. And
okay.
I feel like I need some more experience.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's what we want you to do. That's why you're here.
And on top of that, you being an intern at the Delta Project, you also a member of the Juvenile Justice Advisory Committee for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. And this is like a step on the other side of the walls. Yeah. And I say since your involvement, like you out now, like since your incarceration, like what would you say your view of the justice system is now? I mean, like you on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? You in rooms and meetings and with people who were on the other side of you when you was inside. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the trajectory flipped and like, what's your view on it now? Like, how do you feel the justice system? Do you have a different view or do you have any feelings towards it?
I feel like it's just still the same. It just needs some change.
Okay. You the model now. You know, you made it out. You know what I'm saying? You doing way different. You doing better. You doing different things.
Did you ever see yourself on this side?
No, I didn't at all.
No?
Yeah, I never visioned this.
Wow. You never saw yourself on the other side?
No.
Me either. People tell me I want to make 18.
Only negative. Yeah, I only seen like negative visions. Like, you know, I'll probably be dead by 20
or dead by 18. You know?
Or,
they gonna kill you. All that.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
So what's it feel like for the both of you to be on the other side of those false stories and narratives? Honestly, what does it feel like?
I feel like, honestly, like I ain't even really got time to unpack about like people telling me I'm gonna be dead and then I'm just being here. I ain't think I really unpacked it yet.
Okay.
You know, like I unpacked being home, like just I'm free now, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I thought about that, but like when it came down to like me being dead, like I don't know, like I feel like I died death so many times, like it's fake. Literally. Like I don't know, it's weird. Like I done been shot, got shot at, been in car crashes, all of it. Like movie actions type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like now that like I don't know, I just ain't unpack it yet.
I feel like I proved a lot of people wrong too, because like a lot of people told me like you gonna keep getting locked up, or like when I get out, it's always people like bringing up like don't go back, or like like because they so used to me getting locked up.
Yeah.
After being through what you've been through and making it out, what can you say that you know now that you didn't know before? Like what could you say to them boys that's watching this?
I say, man, that's a good one. I say you can make something out of nothing. Like you come from nothing, you can still make something out of that. You could be anything you want to be. It's all up to you. You got the power to change and do anything you dream of, for real. Like,
That's facts.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, appreciate you. It's a blessing.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Earth strong.
I'm sure.
Earth strong. Bad.
One love. Thank you for listening. Check out our programs on the Delta Project's website, thedeltaproject.co, and be sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.